Hello and welcome back to Radio Reviews Revived. Today we're going to be taking a look at a weather radio that has Bluetooth, and that would be none other than the G-Storm G-70W. Let's take a look. Alright, the G-Storm G-70W. Let's take a look at this thing. So, this is a weather radio that, frick. Okay, the G-Storm, let's take a good look at this thing. So, as you can see right here, it looks very nice and rugged, pretty sturdy weather radio. We'll get to the build quality later. As you can see here, you've got your buttons here. We've got the weather, the flashlight, which is very bright actually, and it has an SOS flashing setting as well. We've got the Bluetooth, which we'll get to later. The preset button, your AM and FM buttons for the AM FM. Volume up and down buttons, your power button, your alert button to toggle on or off weather alert, and then turn back on weather alert. You have the buttons for stopping and playing music or media while you have the Bluetooth on, which is very cool. Right here you've got the antenna right here, which is decent. It might get a little bit worn out over time. I've used my G-Storm pretty heavily, so it's a bit loose, but it still works really well. Right here you've got this little handle thing right here, and then here, if we open up this little protective cover, we have a USB port for charging your phone, and we have the micro USB, which is for charging the radio. The radio has a built-in rechargeable battery, which is in the battery compartment right here. It is opened by a screw, and I do not have a screwdriver on me right now, so I'm not going to open it, but yeah, it basically just has a rechargeable battery in there. So yeah, very nice look to it in my opinion. I love the look of the G-Storm. Of course, you got the No All Hazards logo right there. Very nice looking radio, very sleek. So now we're going to get on to the first feature, and that is not the button beeps or siren test, because there's none of those. So we're going to get straight into the reception. Okay, the reception on the G-Storm. So let's get the antenna extended, and let's see if we can pick up some stations. So,
Shoals Buoy. The wind was west at 16 knots.
There's my local station, KHB91.
Water temperature was 61 degrees.
10 miles away.
Wave height.
Anything else? If we're lucky. Probably not. We're probably not going to get much else because I'm in an area where I can only get one weather channel, so I'm not really in the best place to test it, but I can assure you it has pretty good reception. I have taken this G-Storm lots of places. I have taken this thing from here in North Carolina to Pennsylvania and back multiple times. I've taken this to, I think, a couple other places around the U.S. as well, along the East Coast, like Virginia and stuff. I've taken this a lot of places, basically. And whenever I've been through places, it's picked up stations really well. There's probably radios that have better reception than the G-Storm. Maybe the HH is comparable to the G-Storm's reception, but it's good enough. It gets the job done. I give it a green. It has very good reception. So now we're gonna move on to the next feature, and that is the speaker quality. Alright, the speaker quality on the G-Storm. So this radio has to have one of the best speakers of any weather radio I have, and probably the best speaker of all of the emergency radios that I have. Let's take a listen to this.
Wednesday, sunny in the morning, then becoming partly sunny. Highs in the mid-50s. East winds around 5 miles per hour. Wednesday night, mostly cloudy. A slight chance of rain after midnight.
Let's go to an FM station. Let's not get copyrighted. Let's see, I'll go to a station with no copyright music. Here we go. This speaker has amazing bass. Listen to that speaker quality. That is just That is just beautiful, man. This thing has great speaker quality, one of the best. It's got a great speaker. It has amazing bass. Honestly, you could literally use this as a Bluetooth speaker, which is kind of what it is because it does have Bluetooth. You can literally use this as a Bluetooth speaker because the speaker quality is that good. I mean, heck, maybe even compare it to the JBL. Okay, maybe it's not as good as the JBL, but it's still, for a weather radio, an emergency radio, it is a great speaker. In fact, on multiple occasions, I've actually used this as a Bluetooth speaker. It's a great speaker, one of the best on any weather radio. It's comparable to the Sangean CL100, which is saying something because that's one of the best speaker qualities of any weather radio. So yeah, great speaker quality, great bass, just overall great sound. So now we're going to move on to the next feature, and that is the build quality. Okay, the build quality on the G-Storm. So the build quality on the G-Storm, again, is probably one of the best for any emergency radio. As you can see, it's built very sturdy, as you can see with these edges. They're very sturdy, rubber, well not rubber, but like, you know, sturdy material. Whatever they're using for material is very, very good. You can just feel when you're holding this radio, the ruggedness of it. And that's a very good thing because I've actually dropped this radio quite a few times. I've had this radio probably going on maybe 4 years now, and I've dropped this thing multiple times. This thing's been in a lot of places, and as you can see, it still looks very nice. It used but in very good condition after all these years. It has great build quality. If you drop this radio, it's most likely going to be okay, as long as it doesn't, like, you know, maybe smash right on the screen or anything. But like, if it were to smash, like, not smash, but if it were to drop, you know, to the floor right now and it fell on one of the edges here, it would most likely be completely fine, which has happened to me multiple times, of course. And yes, it has great build quality. If you happen to drop it, it's going to be just fine, guarantee ya. So we're going to move on to the next feature now, and that is the AM/FM capabilities. Alright, the AM/FM capabilities on the G-Storm. So we already went over the weather band, and we're actually already on FM band. We kind of did this a minute ago, but we're going to do it again. Again, showing off that amazing speaker. Let's go to the AM band here.
Fortunate to spend time with that were willing to lend me their houses and their beds for however many number of days I was stuck in one place or another. You know, freezing, fog.
Even good speaker quality there. I mean, it's great. Works as expected. The AM/FM capabilities on this radio are great. You know, it's very easy to tune, easy to make presets. It's just very simple, not complicated. Very good, and obviously the speaker quality on the FM band especially is amazing. But yeah, the AM/FM capabilities on this radio are very, very good. So now we're going to move on to the next feature, and that is the Bluetooth. Okay, the Bluetooth on the G-Storm. So, to do the Bluetooth, you're going to turn the radio on and hit the Bluetooth button right here. And once you hear the amazing Microsoft 3.1 sound, you're going to notice that the Bluetooth thingy here is flashing. This means that it will show up on any devices if you search for the Bluetooth device. So let's go here, for example, my computer. If we turn on Bluetooth, look for Bluetooth devices, we will see G-70W. That is the Bluetooth device for the G-Storm. And when we hit the button and you hear that sound, it is connected. It'll obviously be connected when the BT stops flashing. And now we are connected to the computer. So if I wanted to go ahead and play some non-copyright music over the G-Storm, I could do that right now. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna play let's play some Xenogenesis. You know, the famous outro song right here. Xenogenesis. See how it sounds. Listen to this amazing speaker. Masterpiece. So guys, that was the episode on the G-Storm G-70W. If you love this video, be sure to leave it a like, comment, and subscribe so I can get some more subscribers. Please give me money because I am very, very poor and need the money. I'm homeless. Thank you guys. Absolutely fantastic as a Bluetooth speaker. I am just so glad that they had made Bluetooth for this radio of all the radios they could have, because with a speaker like this, having Bluetooth is absolutely amazing. So that is the Bluetooth on the G-Storm, and now we're going to get into the final thoughts of this weather radio. Okay, the final thoughts on the G-Storm. Well, the G-Storm is honestly probably one of the best emergency weather radios you can buy, especially for the price of only $35. That's right, you get this whole package of cool stuff, awesome speaker, Bluetooth, and weather radio with weather alert, all for only 35 bucks, which is just amazing considering that other radios, like, for example, you know, the ER210, maybe as a good example, is somewhere around $50 to $60 nowadays. The ER50 is about $50. And those are great radios too, don't get me wrong, and they have solar panels and these don't, but like, still, the speakers on those are not like this one at all. It still has weather alert. You know, the other ER radios don't have Bluetooth except for the ER310 Pro, which is over $100 freaking dollars. So honestly, this is probably a radio that you're going to get the best value out of for only 35 bucks, and they sell on Walmart.com. In fact, some Walmarts in person actually sell G-Storms, so maybe if you go over to your local Walmart, you may be able to find one of these. So thank you so much for watching this episode of Radio Reviews Revived. I'm Carolina Elevators in EAS, signing off. Peace.